Well, since David Moyes has taken charge of Everton, they seem to be doing quite well. And do you know what? I've been flooded with requests for a David Moyes tactic. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did happen. So here we are. We are going to make it. Hopefully you do enjoy. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, a few of you were in the YouTube live stream before this video even went live. So make sure you do go and check out that live stream. It's going to be posted on the channel. And also you can see when I go live next in the live schedule tab. So make sure you come on over. We are going to be saving Manchester United. But today, United aren't our issue. Today, Everton are. Let's go and do it. So then the first test is going to be with Everton, and I am absolutely buzzing with how we have done in this season because we have done way above our expectation. Now, I was hoping to sort of get in that top 7, in that top 10, that sort of area, and we have come in and actually finished in 5th place, and we were only 3 points off finishing inside of the top 4. So a very, very strong season for Everton. The Cups didn't go too well, although I say that the Carabao Cup went okay. We are going to get to the semi-finals, which is pretty decent for a first season, and we are actually going to be in the Champions League, so I'm not too sure how we've blagged that, but we have got into the Champions League without even finishing inside of the top 4. So we are going to take it and we are going to move on. Now, in terms of the team stats, we are going to be the 6th best at scoring, which if you consider it is actually really good because there's a lot better teams with a lot better players than us. So we are going to take it. Goals conceded, we're the 3rd best. So defensively, we were absolutely rock solid. Actually, roughly where Man City should be. So a very good display there. Calvert-Lewin doing Calvert-Lewin things. Jesper Lindstrom, if you did watch any of the match of the delay, you know how good he was for me. I really know how to get the best out of him as a player. James Garner, very, very good as well. And in terms of the data hub, I really like this because we have got around about half a goal comfort every single game. We're really good at the pass side of things. The shots per game is fairly decent for an Everton team. And this tactic is designed to be very, very defensively solid. And do you know what? Ranking 3rd best out of all these teams, you've got to think you've got Liverpool, Villa, City, Tottenham, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, United, Newcastle, for example, and a few other teams that have got better backlines than ours. We have overachieved massively. We did match up against some of the best in the league, and not only match up, but absolutely dominate, to be honest. This is going to be a home game against Arsenal, a game that shouldn't be that easy, to be honest, against one of the best teams in the Premier League. We're going to come out and take the lead inside of 5 minutes, and then go 2-0 up from a set piece. And again, if you don't have my set pieces, make sure you go and get them because they do genuinely score 10 to 15 goals a season just from that alone. And whatever Gabriel was doing there, I'm not sure, but it is going to be Lindstrom going quite direct. And do you know what? I'm not against it. We're then going to go over and test with the powerhouse of today's video. That is going to be Inter Milan. And of course, we did enjoy a stellar season. We're only going to lose 1 game in the Serie A. We're also going to win the Italian Cup against AC Milan in 2-0 fashion. And also the Super Cup against AC Milan, this time on penalties. And they finished 2nd in the league. So 2nd best when it comes to everything, really. We are going to be the best team in the league when it comes to scoring. The most goals also going in our favour, of course. Goals conceded 13. The rest of the team stats, we are going to have the most shots, and defensively, as mentioned, we are absolutely incredible. Lautaro Martinez is going to dominate the stat lines for the goals, Thuram the best rating, and Hakan coming in with the most assists in the team. Now, this does go to show the difference in quality because we're now scoring 4 goals a game. We were using the attack and variant to make that very, very clear. Conceded per game still very low at 0.34, a good pass completion, and a very good amount of shots per game. So the whole picture looking pretty good. We will go over and watch that Italian Cup final because it was one to remember, and I tell you what, usually AC Milan are not an easy team to beat, but we take roughly up until, what, the 60th minute to get the breakthrough. When we get the breakthrough, we were so dominant on the ball, and we go on to actually get another goal literally minutes after. We went for a real dominant spell of 10-20 minutes after this goal went in, and obviously they couldn't respond, so it's going to be an easy 2-0 win. And lastly, we go over and we take the fight to Spain with Atletico Bilbao, a team predicted to finish, I believe, 6th or 7th. We come out and finish 3rd, and we are literally 4 points off winning the league. So a very, very competitive fixture. And I did include it in here because we can see how good we were at the back. We simply just were not scoring enough goals. Nico Williams didn't do as well as what I thought, but defensively, we were absolutely rock solid. Literally the best in the league. Better than Madrid, better than Barca, better than Atletico Madrid. A very, very strong season, which again, the stat lines are really, really good. 2.13 goals per game, game, 0.58 conceded, a good pass completion, and a good amount of shots per game. So, do you know what? We smashed it with Everton, we smashed it with Inter. Although we didn't win anything with Bilbao, it's a very, very strong season, and I think one where we were literally 4 points off winning the league. And for anyone wondering how you do against better opposition, I am going to include a game against FC Barcelona, a 6-goal thriller to make it very clear, where they did get off to a great start there with Noah Darvic to make it 1-0 inside of under 2 minutes. So a very early game, a very early goal, but we do respond literally around 8 minutes after with Williams down the right hand side, plenty of space to go into the box with, and I tell you what, he does find a great ball in. One thing you're going to notice about this tactic is you are not afraid to get a ball into the box. It's a very direct tactic. Yes, you can also get goals like this where you go through in a more direct fashion and a bit more of a pass and play is sort of intertwined, but overall a lot of the goals are going to come from simply getting the ball in dangerous areas and of course capitalising on balls in the box. Now, when you're playing a team like Barcelona, they're not the easiest team to beat, and it would have probably been a penalty, but they are going to get the goal anyway there with, I believe, Bryan Gil, who's at Barcelona now, and it is going to be tied up 2-2. But again, going down the left-hand side, bringing it back into the middle, into Vesca, who drives actually very, very well, and finishes past to Stegen. So a bit more of a central goal coming in there, which is nice to see, mixing up the play a little bit, and we are now going to be 3-2 up, about to be 4-2 up, going through the middle now, Alvaro with tons of pace, no one can catch him, and I tell you what, yeah, that's destruction. What's your favourite part of the video? That is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you head on over to the second channel. That is going to be Daily Josh. You can also find it in the description. We are also live streaming. We have got tons of FM content going on right now. We post a video every single day, and we also now live stream on my main YouTube channel, which is the one you're now watching. So make sure you tune in to the live streams as well. We're answering any tactic questions, we're taking tactic requests, and also so much more. The main thing, saving Manchester United. But to go over and make this tactic, all you want to do is simply click create your own style and click a 4231 DMAM wide. And now we're going to go right in and make this tactic. So the first thing you want to do is go down to the bottom left and change it from balanced up to positive. Now going over to the player roles, the first thing we're going to do is actually keep what we have. We are going to have a default goalkeeper in goal. Jordan Pickford, I would best describe as that. I know he has his crazy moments sometimes, but he's not really meant to be that sweeper keeper, so he is going to be operating as a goalkeeper simply on defend. We are then going to go over and use a fullback on the right as we've got, but with some instructions on support. We are going to have close down more and also tackle harder. I feel like I say this every video, but for people wondering how you get closed down more, you need to be on a clean slate and have everything set to balanced so that you can apply these instructions. Without them, if you've got, for example, if we go over to here, if you've got this on or anything like that, it will become impossible to operate the players with it, so make sure it is nice and blank. Going over to the right centre back, we are going to have a central defender on defend, of course, and we're actually going to have him on pretty much closing down less, alongside of taking fewer risks and also marking tight. So a player that's going to be tight to his man, not too aggressive in terms of the challenges, and just very, very annoying, just loosely sitting on a man and essentially making it very hard for any player to really get in behind. Next to him, we are going to operate with a ball-playing defender. Of course, Everton usually have this, one more confident centre-back than the other, and we're going to have a ball player on close down more and also mark tight. So this player is going to be more aggressive compared to the right side, so a nice mixture at the back. When it comes to the left back, we are going to operate with another fullback. This time, he is going to be set to attack, and he is going to have these instructions. We are going to have cross-aim centre, basically to feed Calvert-Lewin. We are also going to operate with run wide alongside of close down more and also tackle harder. So a very, very, very aggressive fullback when it comes to the left-hand side. Going over to that midfield on the right, we are going to have a ball-winning midfield player who is simply going to come in on support. And to the next of him, we are going to have a DLP on the left-hand side who is also going to be not on support but operating on defend, so a little bit deeper than a supportive role. And he is going to have take more passing risks as rule 1, close down more, and that is going to be all she wrote. So again, a very, very aggressive player in that midfield who is going to win the ball back, and when he's got the ball, look forward and take big, big passing risks. And we've actually got two players here who are going to be quite defensive, so it does also protect protect this back four as well. Again, at any point in this video, if you are interested in getting access to all of these wonderful perks, which does include all of these tactics today, also get them on console and on mobile, get all of my rebuilds, one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing, and access to big monthly giveaways, you can come over and check out the Patreon, where you can be part of a team of 5,100 people. It's growing about 30 people a day at the moment. It's absolutely mental. The community is incredible over there, so make sure you do get involved. But going up to this pitch, we are going to operate with a bit of a mixture. So on the right-hand side, we are going to operate with a winger. This is actually where Jesper Lindstrom did play, and he is going to be set to attack, alongside of crossing at the centre, running wide with the ball, and also closing down more. A few players in this team are going to be on that close down more. We want to be quite aggressive. On the left-hand side, we are going to use an inside inside forward on support, and he is going to be set to roam from the position, alongside of staying wider and also closing down more. Now, I want him to stay wide, but when he's got the ball, he can naturally cut inside with the ball, and of course, have the odd crack at goal as well. Now, the great thing about this left-hand side is, because of how attacking this fullback is, if this player does get the ball and he does cut inside, the fullback is going to push up and create an overlapping opportunity, and he is also being told to cross it at the centre. So Calvert-Lewin, he's got to be fed today. He's going to get a lot of chances. Now, going through the central area, the advanced playmaker is going to be on support, and he is simply going to be left to be on the default. And up front, we are going to operate with a default target forward. And although it seems pretty basic, the target forward role in this game is actually very good, and it suits Calvert-Lewin very well. He gets great sorts of loads of different assists coming in from the right-hand side, the left-hand side, even behind him. He has supplied tons of chances, and he was one of the Premier League top goal scorers in this save, so a very good return. Now, going over to the team instructions, we are going to operate with a wide playing style. Passing into the space, overlapping right and overlapping left is going to be required. I personally went with floated crosses because we are using a target forward. We are going to be using Calvert-Lewin. If Beto plays, he also can be quite good in the air, so for me, floated crosses were better. And of course, we are going to hit early crosses, the tempo set to higher and the passing set to slightly more direct. So yes, it is very direct. In transition, regroup, counter, play to anyone across the back line while taking short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to deploy the standard line with that Moyes mid block more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, also step up more and trap outside. Now, we've got enough players up in this area here to actually prevent the goalkeeper. Sometimes goalkeepers will try and, toy with it on the edge here. So when we've got Calvert-Lewin fairly close to him, get stuck in and get involved. But that is going to hopefully explain the default version of this tactic. Of course, we have now got another tactic to go over. That is going to be the attacking version. This is designed for more better teams. Of course, we used it with Inter Milan, and you can instantly tell there is quite a big change. So the goalkeeper and the centre-backs aren't the change. The fullback on the right, now on attack, on close down and tackle harder. The fullback on the left is going to be exactly the same as what he was in that default version. The midfield changes big. The DLP remains the same, but does come up more into a central role, on take more risks and close down. The box-to-box, of course, a very new role. Dribble more, get forwards and move into the channels. The winger on the right, on attack, cross aim centre, run wide and close down more. The inside forward now goes to attack as well, on roam, stay wider and also close down more. The shadow striker comes in, a big change that also does chip in with the goals, and the target forward, he does remain unchanged. Now, we're also going to buff ourselves up to attacking from positive. The width is going to remain the same. This also remains exactly the same. All of this wonderful stuff, because it's a winning formula. There's no point in changing it, including the tempo and the passing. But because we are trying to be more attacking, if you're playing as a top team or trying to get back into a game, you're either taking risks or you've got the players to do it. We are going to run at defence and also be more expressive. So we really are going to be hitting teams hard. This stuff does remain the same. Of course, no real need to change it, apart from adding distribute quickly. And lastly, Out of possession, we are going to still have the mid-block, but operate with a higher defensive line, the trap outside, the step up more, the prevent, and one up on the trigger press. So just changing it little and often just to get more of an attacking side to the game achieved. Now, of course, if you are trying to seal out a game, this is not recommended to play an entire game with, but if you are in the last 10-20 minutes, you're a goal up, 2 goals up, you want to try and reserve the game out, I'm going to have you covered. So let's go over and break it down. So starting off with the goalkeeper, it is simply going to be the same. The ball players are also going to remain unchanged, and the central defender. Both fullbacks, both on defend now, so they will not get forwards at all. Both on close down and also tackle harder. The DLP comes back into a deep position, on defend, on take more risks, and close down more. The ball winning midfield player comes back in, simply on support, and we're going to operate with 2 defensive wingers. Now, I have gone and made sure we've got this instruction on. That is going to be get further forwards, because I still require some service for our target forwards, so they must have that instruction on, alongside of cross aim centre and also get further forwards. The AP comes back in on the default, and the target forward, he remains unchanged now for free tactics, so no change to him at all. We are also going to look to drop down to balance, so it is going to be the lowest mentality we have had since playing with this tactic. The width does remain the same, the pass into the space exactly the same, the floater crosses again the same, hit early crosses again the same. This time we are not going to overlap because of course our wingbacks, or fullbacks should I say, are of course on defend. The passing is going to go up by 1 to slightly up by 2, so we are going to go into much more direct. The tempo is going to be bang on in the middle. If you've got my set pieces, play for them. If you don't, either find someone else's or create your own, but make sure you have got very, very good set pieces, because you can play this incredibly defensive style and still get goals just from set pieces alone if you've got the right ones. In transition, we are going to regroup. I still want to attack, so we are going to counter, and you can see here how important those defensive wingers are. We are going to slow the pace down because we are trying to seal out a game and play to anyone across the back line while taking short goal kicks. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to go in with a standard line, the mid block, standard on the press, no real needs for the prevention this time, leave it blank, get stuck in because I want to win the ball back as quick as we can and still operate with that trap outside. And that's going to give you boys and girls 3 versions of the Moyes 4-2-3-1. I know this one's a little bit different to a 4-2-3-1, but I wanted to have one in there which you can defend with and real seal out a game with. So technically that one's not a 4-2-3-1, but the default version is, and the attacking version is as well. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Leave me a comment below what you think of Moyes so far in the Premier League, and hopefully I see some of you in the YouTube live. I'll see you in the next one.